This is take 3 of Van Halen Women and Children First to bring you up to date. I know there's only like a couple of dozen people that watch these videos, so you maybe already know this. But if you're new, I'll tell you. I ordered Women and Children First at the end of May. Oh God, I've told this story so many times from Amazon. And instead of Women and Children First, I received a record called The Top by a band called The Cure, and I didn't want an album by The Cure. And so they sent a replacement, and I did that one, and that was also, and this was all captured on video, this was also The Top by The Cure. And then I had to deal with some bullshit from Amazon. I had to send the Cure record back, and they said they couldn't send another replacement, so I ordered it instead from Amazon, still through Amazon. This was all through Amazon Mexico, as are all my purchases. And then so, because I figured they're just gonna send me this album as many times as I ordered it, they were gonna send The Cure. So I ordered it still through Amazon Mexico, but this time I ordered it from the US. So it was coming from a different fulfillment center or warehouse, whatever they call it. And it was a little bit more, a tiny bit more, like 9, 10, 11 pesos more, something like that. And I finally got it. And yes, I opened it just to be sure. And hey, they got it right, and it is. So this is finally, after 2 botched, failed, aborted attempts, I am going to talk about Women and Children First. And I don't know what I said before, but I guess I'm repeating it. So this was, and I'm going to get right to it. It wasn't my first Van Halen album. I think it was second. I got Fair Warning first, and then I don't know if I got Diver Down next and then started to go back, or if I got Fair Warning and then went back. But so this was either my second or third Van Halen record. And this was, I always considered this, I don't have an official ranking, but just in my head when I listen to Van Halen, I know for a fact that there's no doubt that Fair Warning is my favorite Van Halen record. And I've always kind of thought in my head that Diver Down was second and this was third. This is past Diver Down. Over the years, this has become, clearly my number 2 favorite. I'm not sure why. I mean, I've had this record forever and I've had Diver Down forever, but just sometimes that happens. One starts, and it's not that Diver Down, it's not that I like it less than Women and Children First. It's that this album just got better and better. It just took a long time for me to realize how great it was. I always knew it was great, but not a number 2 great. So now it's number 2. And I guess that's all I can say about this. I have talked about it before. So that's it. And I'm going to open it up now. I did have this, as I said at the time, and I guess I got this maybe around 1982, let's say 82 or 83, probably 82. I'll cut it open. It's still sealed, and I'm gonna open it up. I guess there's nothing inside it. I've mentioned before that Van Halen records never had anything good inside. Never, not even lyrics. Fair Warning had a front and back inner sleeve dust jacket. I still don't know what that's called. This I remember was just that plastic cover, and I'm gonna guess this is maybe a little bit of an upgrade from that, but I don't think so. I'm gonna guess this is probably just a white sleeve inside, and I'm gonna slice it open now. And yeah, it looks like it is just a regular plain white sleeve. Like that. That's it. Nothing special. No lyrics. And I know I did mention before, the thing, maybe part of the reason why I didn't like this album as much was because of that. Maybe when I was listening to it when I was 11 or 12 years old, I didn't have anything to look at except for the covers, the front and back covers. So maybe that's what it was. But and I can remove the wrap, which I always do. I know some people keep it on. I do not. It's like keeping the plastic wrap on your furniture like an old lady. So there it is. And there's the back. This is maybe my favorite Van Halen album cover. I know this is Fair Warning. Again, the top 2 records. I think there's a connection there between the albums you like. Often have your favorite covers as well. I think they go together. I think that's a great album cover. It's so simple. It's just a photo with this green border, but I don't know what it is. I love the font, the Van Halen font and the title font. It's just excellent, and a great picture on the back. And I think this is the guitar that no, it wasn't this one. It was the one on Van Halen 2 that Dimebag was buried with in his casket. Eddie Van Halen placed it in there. Yeah, it was the one from Van Halen 2. So there it is. And this is a really Van Halen is not a heavy band, but there's some heavy. It's kind of a dark album. I think this and Fair Warning. Again, maybe those are why my two favorites. Van Halen, I think, was considered or is considered like a good time party band. Beautiful Girls on the albums that came before this, and Feel Your Love Tonight. A really good time. And this one had at least one maybe that was kind of like that. But overall, this had a little bit of a darker tone to it. Not literally, well, a little bit heavier tone, but darker. Not lyrically, just I'm not sure how to explain it, and I'm probably bungling that pretty bad. So I'll get to the track by track now, as I think with all or most Van Halen records, the track listing is out of order. But I know it. It's And the Cradle Will Rock opens. Everybody Wants Some. Fools. Romeo Delight. Side 2 is Tora Tora. What comes after Tora Tora? Loss of Control. Take Your Whiskey Home. Could This Be Magic? And A Simple Rhyme. So I know that album. I know this album very well. So it starts with And the Cradle Will Rock. And this was maybe, I've talked about the possible first Van Halen songs that I ever heard. And I had forgotten about this one. It's possible that I heard And the Cradle Will Rock as my first Van Halen song ever. I definitely didn't have this record first. That was Fair Warning. But it was this. And oh my God, Then and Now. What a song that is. And the Cradle Will Rock. And it was only recently, and I mean really recently, maybe in the last year or so, that I finally just discovered that intro to, and I can't verbalize it. There's no way I can verbalize it. Everybody knows that intro to And the Cradle Will Rock. It's not a guitar I was 11 or 12 years old when I got this record and when it came out, and I didn't know any better. But even then, all the years later, I think I would guess most people, it's a piano, it turns out that it's I think an electric piano. If you claim that you knew all along it was an electric piano, you're full of shit. There's no way. And it sounds like a guitar, and it sounds like Eddie Van Halen's guitar. And I think even then, if you thought it was a guitar, you'd still be thinking, how does he do that? What's making that sound? And it turns out that it's an electric piano. How about that? But a classic Van Halen song. Have you seen Junior's Grades? I love that song. Great top, whatever, 10, 12, 8, whatever, favorite Van Halen songs ever. Then it gets even better. The next song is Everybody Wants Some. I Want Some Too. Crazy, chaotic, wild song. So many things going on in the song. It's got that, the kind of, I don't know, like a jungle beat and the, Tarzan kind of call in the beginning. And some really weird lyrics. I don't think anybody knows what Dave says in the first line of the second verse. The first verse is you can't get romantic on a subway line. Conductor don't like it, says you're wasting your time. Well, everybody wants some, I want some too. And then the second verse, I don't know what. And if you look for it online, the things that all the lyric sites say, I don't know if I'm sure they're not right. I see something man looking for a moonbeam. I don't know if even David Lee Roth knows what he says there. And then that middle part, I like the way a little line runs up the back of the stocking. I've always liked those kind of high heels too. No, don't take it off, leave them on. Yeah, that's it, a little more to the right. And then back into the Everybody Wants Some. Amazing song. Top 5, let's say, Van Halen songs for me. I think Unchained or Little Guitars are probably number 1 and number 2. And I mentioned earlier that in another video that Fair Warning, any songs from the first side, Mean Street, Dirty Movies, Sinner's Swing, Hear About It Later, any of those could be in my top 5. But at this point, I would say Everybody Wants Some, I Want Some Too. And lots of punctuation on this album. I talked about this also. It wasn't Sinner Swing, it was Sinner Swing! And what else did they have punctuation? Somebody get me a doctor! on Van Halen 2. And this was double exclamation point a la Jake Jarmel. Everybody wants some. And Dave sings it like that. Everybody wants some. I want some too. And then is it Romeo Delight is next? No, Fools is next. Fools is what a great song. Also to that one, different layers of it. It starts with that kind of. It sounds like Eddie's just kind of warming up and just noodling or something. And then it just gets, as Paul Stanley said, it gets rough. And then it gets rougher. Yeah! Fantastic song. 3 out of 3 are just incredible songs so far. Well, I ain't about to go to school, and I'm sick and tired of golden rules. Fools, I live with fools. Great song. And then just when you think it can't get any better, boom! Holy shit fuck! It's Romeo Delight, and that is Van Halen. Back then, I would say Van Halen was a heavy metal band. I was, as I said, 11, 12 years old, and AC/DC was heavy metal, and Van Halen was heavy metal, and Motley Crue. But that still, I would still say that Romeo Delight. Not the very intro, the tapping part. After the tapping part, that's maybe the song is not a heavy metal song, but that is clearly heavy metal guitar. That I can't sing it, but that just that chugging, powerful riff, and it's got that great, that breakdown part that I guess sounds like Led Zeppelin. If you know the song, you know what I'm talking about. Want to see my ID? Try to clip my wings. I don't have to show you proof of anything. I know the law, friend. That is also maybe my top 5 Van Halen songs is like about 17 songs. But Romeo Delight. Turn it over and it's Tora Tora. And Tora Tora, it's filler, but it's good filler. I've talked about this many times. It serves more as an intro to Loss of Control. But couldn't that be Black Sabbath, the Tora Tora? It's just like a minute or 45 seconds or a minute and 10 seconds or something. Just an instrumental. And I swear, you could, if the tone was different, you'd swear that's a Black Sabbath song. It's just really heavy, kind of dark sounding, sinister sounding. And then it just blasts into Lost Control. Mayday, 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 and Mr. Bungle did a great. That's also, I think, a very heavy metal guitar. The intro to Lost Control. Mr. Bungle did a great cover of that. I think they played it live, and then they recorded it, or maybe they released it as like a live in the studio track or something during the pandemic. And sounds great. Sounds really just like Van Halen. I'm a massive Faith No More fan. And maybe even more massive Van Halen fan, so it was great to hear Mike Patton singing Van Halen, Lost Control. Lost Control, Lost Control, Lost Control. What comes after Lost Control? Take Your Whiskey Home. Now, it's my least favorite on this album. I like it, it's okay, but it's clearly, sometimes it's pretty clear what's your favorite and what's not your favorite. And Take Your Whiskey Home, it is my least favorite. I still like it, but it's for me, it's clearly, man, how can it live up to Everybody Wants Some and Romeo Delight. And what was next? Do I have to look? No. Let me do it. Could This Be Magic? Maybe a little bit strange. Sometimes I think too much about track listing. That this song should have been here, or the others, they should have flipped these around. I thought maybe it's a little bit too much that they put these 2 songs, Take Your Whiskey Home and, God, why can't I remember the name of the song? Not In a Simple Rhyme. I just said it. What's this goddamn song called? Could This Be Magic? They're a little bit, they're both kind of acoustic-y, kind of a little bit bluesy. I think especially the intro of Take Your Whiskey Home, a little bit bluesy. maybe they could have spread those songs out a little bit. But Could This Be Magic? That's a fun. Could this be magic or could this be love? Could this turn tragic? You know that magic often does. Lonely ships upon the water. Better save the women and children first. Sail away with someone's daughter. Sail away with someone's daughter. Anyway, yeah, I like that song a lot too. And then the last song is In a Simple Rhyme. This is one that over the last 5 or I don't know how many years, I thought this song was okay, but over the last however many years, I don't want to place it in the top 5 and pollute that list too much. But In a Simple Rhyme has become a really, really favorite song for me. That was one that this is maybe the one that sounds a little bit more like I think what you expected from Van Halen at the time, kind of more like a more fun Ain't Love Grand when you finally hit it. It's just more of a fun Van Halen song. And then at the end, it's got the like a coda or a tag, which I only found out very, very recently, maybe 3 months ago, that and was called, and I don't know if this was named by fans or if Van Halen called this, was actually a song called Growth, or a little tag, as I said, a coda called Growth, that I guess, because that came up, I was watching YouTube, and you get the suggestions, or it plays like similar videos, and I saw it said Van Halen Growth, and I didn't know what that was, and it turns out that it was thought it was just like an extra little bit at the end of In a Simple Rhyme, but it turns out that it's Growth. And then I was reading somewhere that I guess what they were going to do, that was the Growth was then going to be the intro on the next album, which was Fair Warning, and they were going to continue it, I guess, and maybe flesh it out into a full song. But it would have been good. That's only 30 seconds, maybe even less. I would have liked to have seen what Van Halen could have done if they had, really taken that song and expanded it. But that's it. Let me pick the album up. Better Save the Women and Children First. This is a great, great, great Van Halen record. Definitely my second now. This has surpassed Diver Down. This is I mean, for me, Van Halen was really just the first 6 records. So this is number 2 out of number 6 for me. 2 out of number, how many records did they have? 12 or something? Which for me is still very, very good. So that's it. Finally, can you believe that I got Van Halen, Women and Children First? I did. There you go.